So, but you grew up here, and if you want to start, we can just start with talking about your family. Is that good for
It's
you?
me.
Yeah. So tell me about your family.
I've born and raised here. My family, of course, Ralph Emberton and Claire Nell was my grandparents. Ralph had the Medigold ice cream distributorship here in Monroe County and surrounding counties, and farmed. And Claire Nell, she was a city clerk for, I think, was a whole 30 some years here for the city, city of Tompkinsville and stuff. And been in, kind of been around politics all my life. I've got ties into Frankfurt and stuff. My second cousin Tom Emberton, Tom Senior, he run for governor back in the 70s.
Really?
Uh-huh. And his two children, Tom Jr. and Laura, they both work in Frankfurt, doing things with government and different political standpoints and stuff. But my dad's Gary Emberton. He run the ice cream. Ice cream took over after my grandfather retired, and but my mom she passed away in 20, and she was Debbie. She worked all her life there for Dr. Carter,
Sure.
and but that's my sister's Christy Emberton.
Okay.
She graduated in '97 from Tompkinsville, and she lives in Dixon, Tennessee now. And of course, my wife Caitlin Emberton, she's from Glasgow, and we got 4 children: Emma and Arlo and Allie and Addie. So we got a house full. So,
Absolutely.
but but
How old are they?
Emma, she just turned 18, and then Arlo's 7, Allie's 6, and Addie's 4. So
Okay.
they're just stair steps. So I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people seen them at these fundraisers and stuff we've had too. And of course, my children go to school in Barron County, but my wife teaches and then works with special needs kids, and her home base is there in Barron County, and we live on the at Mount Herman, so we're just close to there. It's just easier for the kids to go with her to go to school, go to school.
Yeah.
So, but I just my family, my mom's parents was from the Winklers community, just over the other side of Gamale, Foy and Margie Turner, and so I've got a lot of kinfolk down around Gamale, places like that. So.
I got you. I got you. So, what made you kind of want to get into? Well, before we talk about that, what's it like being a dad?
It's great. I mean, you don't realize the word, watch your children grow, and then you worry. I guess it matures you. From my point of view, I worry about their future and what they're doing, and I want to work hard for them.
Mm.
It's not about me anymore. It's about what I can do to provide for them and to leave for them, and
Mm-hmm.
and to go on. It's a great watching them play ball and grow up,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just part of it. My dad, and my mom, they all through school. I played all 3 sports, and I can remember my dad get off the ice cream truck, and my granddad come straight to a baseball game. Never miss nothing. So my mom, she's the same way. Right there too. But it's just a great feeling. It's just try to be a good be a good role model for them.
Yeah.
Good support.
Yeah. Do you feel like as you get older, because I hear people say that they would always say they don't want to be like their parents when they grow up, but then as they get older, they find themselves being more and more like their parents. What's that like for you?
It's the same way. When you're young, you think where your parents don't know nothing, and you know it all. But then when you get older, you look back like, I should listen to them a little more. It's you learn a lot, and you want to try to be like them.
Yeah. So pull your mic just a little bit closer to and then shift it. There you go. That should be good.
All right.
I'm just making sure it's switching and everything as we're going. You should be good, but
Okay.
I've had multiple mess ups where like I've had to go and re-record an entire episode because
That's
it wasn't
fine.
loud enough.
That's fine. And so it's my first podcast,
Yeah.
and this is pretty neat. Appreciate what you're doing here in Tompkinsville. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the this is what things are coming to now.
Yeah.
Radio's kind of fading, and it's podcast, internet, technology. So I really really appreciate this.
Yeah. I think because most of the time it seems like I'm hearing about people going to like different community events and speaking there and stuff like that. But, and I think that's good. I think you need to get out into the community and people need to see you for who you are. But I think this creates that same opportunity to a degree
Mm-hmm.
to be able to see somebody for who they. It's hard to fake yourself,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
for a considerable amount of time,
yeah,
and to people be able to see the real you and and that most everybody has access to the internet.
yep.
So yeah.
It's
So what made you decide to? Well, actually, I keep starting a question and then starting it over, and
that's
that's
fine.
something I'm working on myself. But can you kind of, in your own words, like explain to me the role of the county judge executive?
The county judge executive is supposed to be a good upstanding leader, a business, have a business, understand business, understand what the community needs. It's not a one man. It is, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, the county judge, I guess, is he is the main boss, but you've got to be willing to work with fiscal court members, the other elected officials, and the citizens of the Monroe County
Mm-hmm.
because people want to know what's going on, and that's a you just got to be out there, be involved.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. Be involved and be open and honest.
Yeah. So what made you decide that what made you feel like you were right for the role and that it's time to start putting yourself out there for it?
Well, like I said, I run 4 years ago. I made a decision that I'd like to run for county judge because I feel there's opportunities here. It's in this county. There's lots of opportunities, and I want to try to. I just think it's time for our generation to step up to the plate
Mm-hmm.
and try to take the reins and see what becomes. There's so much more. It's just this a timing thing,
Yeah.
and I just felt like I could help in a way to in a way to see things progress. But and then don't get me wrong. There's a learning process. It don't matter what field or what industry or there's things. If elected, I'm willing to learn. I will learn.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to know about every single thing, and
Sure.
it takes a good people, a crew, and just everybody come together. And I just felt like there's opportunity here. I like being involved with people. I like conducting business and being things on the different kind of opportunities come along. You know what I mean. We farm and I trade cows, sell cows, but I just like conducting. Everybody thinks of a trader, oh, he's a crook, but no, it's not. If you
Mm-hmm.
got a good understanding of good business representative. If you sell a man a cow, I'd rather make $50 or $60 on a cow as to make 200, and that man come back and buy 10 more cows off of me 6 months later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I'm going off the edge there, but that's where I'm getting at going with the judges race. I just want to be involved and be business standpoint. I just like being active and being in stuff and around people and, working
Mm-hmm.
with others and I like a challenge.
Yeah.
I love, if I didn't have a challenge, I don't know what
Yeah.
I'd do.
Well, it sounds like your analogy about the cows is like it's about quality over quantity. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And, I just try to, I mean, you just try to keep everything
Mm-hmm.
rolling.
So kind of educate me because I moved away for a while and I just moved back and even when I lived here I wasn't too into the politics or kind of the state of things. But what does Monroe County need and how do you meet those needs?
We need a person to be, like I said, upfront,
Mm-hmm.
have things out in the open. Communication.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is the big thing, and it don't. And Monroe County is a small county, and it's politics.
Mm-hmm.
There's jealousy. You're not gonna make everybody happy. But at the end of the day, if you do something that you feel is right and that the physical court agrees to, it should be a win-win for everybody. But you're not going to make everybody happy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to progress things forward as much as we can for the kids, the future.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't, it don't matter if we We got to get a little infrastructure,
Mhm.
better infrastructure, better industry, and move forward. If it goes back to if if you're making money, if I'm making money and you're making money, the next man's going to make money. We can't hold back on, well, I've got a business here. I don't want another business coming in here competing with me. We've got to let it come, and things will happen the way they're supposed to.
Mhm.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying and failing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it, and a lot of people have a hard time admitting failure.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with it. And if you've got a business here and another business comes in, that's great. That's more jobs, more revenue. Everything will come together. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And we're not Louisville. We're not Nashville, Bowling Green. The city of Tompkinsville and the Monroe County Fiscal Court need to try to work together
Mhm.
to a point, to get along, to just work together. I mean, I know there's going to be differences because it's a city, but we're not, like I said, we're Monroe County.
Mhm.
And
So have they, like, historically not got along or not?
well, there's always been some kind of conflict or something, with water or the ball field, city park versus the new park. It's just
Mhm.
always been. And like I said, you're not going to make everybody happy, but if everybody will come to some kind of agreement, things will be a lot better off.
Yeah.
We instead of pushing our kids away from having to hear all the racket and the drama and you done this or you done that, or that's part of the reason why I'm going a little off topic here, but the younger generation of people don't even go vote. I'm talking from
Mhm.
local city, county government to federal government.
Yeah.
Don't even want to go vote no more. A lot, I've heard lots and lots of younger people that won't express their feeling because they just get fed up with everything.
Yeah. Well, I think I think people don't care until issues start to actually affect them, but then there's also the other side of the coin where issues are affecting them, but they feel like the people that either their vote doesn't matter or the people that they do vote in there don't do what they say that they're going to do.
Mhm.
You know, how do you approach that?
I want everybody to go. Voting is your right. One of the main rights you have in the United States of America. I don't care who you vote for. Express your right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Go vote. For me, one of my opponents, whoever, just go vote. That's the main thing. And study your vote.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go pick a name. Look, try to study it just for a little bit. Whoever you think that you think would do the best job, go vote for them.
Yeah.
And and like I said, you can get in and try to do what's right, but like the county judge, you have a fiscal court that is supposedly to vote on everything.
Mm-hmm.
You need to express that feeling. If one of them has a problem or question or somebody, far as this road over here needs fixed, well, I will, if elected, I will go out and physically look with that master, try to, won't depend on someone else to go out,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll come have a physical court, the meeting, discuss all the masters try to get along and figure out, if money needs to be spent, if it needs to be done, or what needs to take place.
Yeah. So you want to be hands on.
Yes. Oh, yes. I will not be. I will devote, if elected, I will devote my time to this office. I will be at the courthouse every day, but I will be out in the county. If I need, if a road crew's out working on something, I'm going to drive out and check on them. It's just good management.
Mm-hmm.
See what's going on, just let them know you're around. If they need help, hey, you need something, or this has come a problem. We need to fix something a little different here. Let's everybody just work together, and you got to work for stuff if you want it. If you want it done, you got to work for it.
Yeah. You mentioned industry and infrastructure, and I think infrastructure is always, I mean, if a place is growing, then the infrastructure is going to have to grow to meet it. Are we lacking significantly in infrastructure right now?
I think we're lacking, yes, very much. I mean, there's so much opportunities to go forward, just like technologies. There's different technologies to get. There's all kinds of grants to help build stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to get them. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
got to work to try to get this stuff. And like I said, some of these, there's learning. It's a learning process too. But like I said, if I know it's there, I'm gonna go try to get it or try to find somebody to help get it.
Mhm.
So, I just want to,
Fair enough. And when it comes to industry, like what's keeping Monroe County held back? Because I lived in. I'm not talking negatively about Tompkinsville. But there are differences. I noticed differences in the places I've lived, and I know that when I lived in Lebanon, Kentucky, they were huge on like, well, you got like Maker's Mark and different, you got stave companies and stuff like that out that way. What's keeping Monroe County from being able to bring in industry?
far as and I, like you said, you don't want to talk about negative about things,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to. If something wants to come, don't try to push it out because there's another business already here.
Okay.
It's you don't want to step on nobody's toes. But I just want to say, if there's two, if I'm gonna word it this way in my scenario.
Mm-hmm.
If I've got a set of cows over here, and I'm relating to this, and I sell cows, and my neighbor 3 miles down the road, he starts selling cows. I'm the type of person that don't bother me because if I sell some cows, this man buys them, and then he goes over here and buys cows off this man. That's fine because that man might come buy some. You know what I mean? Everything keeps in a circle. If you're making money, I'm making money.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And if we get some different industry in here,
Mm-hmm.
different. I'm not saying big, uh, out of the ordinary things for Monroe County,
Mm-hmm.
and the people will stay and the people will work.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So do you feel like people don't like they're like maybe there's just not enough jobs here and
there's
they're having to work away?
work away and there's better paying jobs. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's plenty. We just need to. I'm afraid we're going to go too far, and we're going to get to nothing. I want to keep Monroe County strong, like it.
Yeah. Are we headed that direction?
In my opinion, I feel like we are a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like we are. If we try to move forward different. We're not in 1980 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's we're in 2026.
Sure.
And I know I get it. A lot of people don't like change, but sometimes change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking drastically, but it will better your future.
Mm-hmm. So, and I can, in this case, I don't want you to feel, I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you don't want to step on toes and stuff like that. So, I'll navigate that with you and stuff. But so it sounds like industry is maybe not encouraged to come here, and I will say I'll put it this way. That's been my understanding of it, is that industry's not been encouraged to come here. That'll be my words. And so how does the county judge executive go about overcoming that? Do you sit down? Like, can you sit down with the, I guess, the opposition? What do you do?
You try to you overlook that of making someone, I guess, upset or
Mhm.
it's a challenge. You go, you and your physical court
Mhm.
come together and say, hey, we need to try to get a business, or something in here to give people some jobs.
Mhm.
And don't get me wrong, somebody's going to get mad, somebody's going to fight it.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, if it's meant to be here,
Mhm.
it'll come on.
Do you think there's enough momentum? There can be enough momentum to bring in that industry. Do you think people are just discouraged?
Yes, there is momentum here, and that's why I want to be elected. And if I'm elected, it's going to take. You're not just going to get somebody in here in a year, 2 years, 3. It could take 4 to 5 years.
Mhm.
So, but you got to have a starting point. You got to have foundation. You got to have a starting point. Somebody to go out and look for it.
Mhm.
Don't be, scared to go out and look for it.
Mhm.
Don't just say, "Well, I'm a county judge. I got a job here."
Yeah.
It ain't about a political job. It's about doing what's right. Like I said before, I like a challenge. I like to go out, work for the people. I like to improve. I like to see an improvement
Yeah.
every day. When I get up every morning, I look at like, what am I going to do today to do something? And half the time, I have a plan of what I'm going to do, and
Yeah.
it never in farming. You're never, and then you work around it, and you figure out. You finally get to what you was planning on doing, but there's always something a
Yeah.
hurdle in the way, and you just work through it, and
Yeah.
you know.
So do you between infrastructure and industry, which one do you think's the biggest between those 2?
That's a toss up. I mean, there's plenty of things that we've got to have. It's different. I mean, I don't mean to harp on the ice storm situation, but there's infrastructure that it's just bad design, bad. I don't know what you want to call it. I guess just drop the ball.
Yeah.
There should have been lots of things done different. We shouldn't have never run out of water, or everybody come together though
Mhm.
and went through it. I don't like to bring up a bad situation in a political, you know what I mean, harp on something that was but we all Monroe County, if Monroe County comes together, they can accomplish anything.
Okay.
And that goes to show that's what we done. Everybody worked hard and come together, you know
Yeah.
and
Yeah, the ice storm was wild because, like, we would I had a buddy that so I left here because I didn't wanna get trapped down here because this is at the bottom this neighborhood's at the bottom of a hill, and I didn't wanna get stuck down here, so, I went to stay my parents were actually gone somewhere, so I went to stay at their house. Well, their power went out, and then I decided to come back here because I could get back down here with the roads, the conditions they were, and then I got here, and there was no power here. And then one of my buddies just happened to message me close to the same time and said they had power at his house. So I start to go there, and then all the power, like on the way to his house, his power went out too.
Well, you can't help the power. That there's limbs. The Tri County done an excellent job. I mean, and the first responders, everybody, and I'll admit there was some guys come in. The emergency management, Dave Rich done a good job. There's people come in from Lexington, Versailles, Richmond.
Hmm.
3 firefighters helped me clear a road. And they was respectful. Called me and said, "Hey, we're cutting this tree up out of the road, but your fence is down."
Hmm.
So, I went, they done a good job with that. I mean, I'm not sitting here dogging nobody. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's that's what I'm saying. If everybody will work together and come together and forget the political aspect, but it's always been Monroe County politics.
Yeah. I mean, I know it used to be like horrible back in the day.
Yep.
And like even like when my grandfather was running for county attorney and stuff, and um, of course Wendell was like, there was, and I think he ran for like mayor or county judge. I can't even remember. My family's been in Monroe County politics quite a bit, and I just remember it being so nasty. But how do you feel like it is today? Do you still feel like it's that way, or do you feel
No,
like it's improved?
I feel like it's improved 100%,
Yeah.
and I feel like that it's time for a change.
Hmm.
It's time to put those old politics aside
Yeah.
and step forward. Let the people
Yeah.
come forward and see what happens.
Yeah.
And hey, we have an opportunity right now to change everything. We can change all the masters if we want to. We change the county judge. We're going to change the sheriff. Everything. Um, if people don't like it in 4 years, vote a different way.
Hmm.
What's the way I see it? What's the problem with taking a chance and trying something?
Hmm.
If it works, it works.
Do you feel like do you feel like that there's a lack of voter turnout all around, or do you think it's just the younger generation?
There's a lack of voter turnout all the way around.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at people that just don't go vote or never has voted. It's people in their later years. It says I never voted, never cared, and it's just but that's everywhere.
Hmm.
That's just part of it.
Fair enough. So you've talked quite a bit about farming, and I think you said you do cows.
Mm-hmm.
So like just like do you like beef cows or
Yeah, we raise mostly beef mama cows, and we raise Holstein heifers, and of course I clerk 3 cattle sales a week, Glasgow and Russell Springs, and then Smiths Grove on Tuesdays.
So,
And I use a computer, a lot of
mhm.
different technologies. I like. I think it's time. I'm not the best. I don't even have a Facebook page myself,
Mhm.
but I know how to.
Oh, I know, because I tried to find you and I couldn't. I had to hunt you down.
Well, my wife's got Facebook, and I'm just more of a, I guess, in a term, a little bit old fashioned toward that. I don't want to get caught up in all the old. I'm the type of person. I don't really, I just go on about my business. I don't care what you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't mean it in a bad way. It's a good thing to stay connected with people and stuff, but I ain't got time to. I just like hands on and
Yeah.
knowing face to face. A lot of times somebody will text me and I'll pick a phone up and call them just because I like to talk, but that's part of the newer thing coming. So I'm that generation that's kind of in between.
Yeah. So you like to keep your focus narrowed, like appropriately narrowed, not ignorant, but like Facebook would be too much of a or social media would be too much of a distraction.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't get into, like I said, I watch YouTube videos, podcasts,
Mhm.
stuff, at night when I go home or whatever, for if I'm trying to learn something or
Yeah.
whatever. But I just don't. I feel like if you're out working and doing there ain't no, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But and I feel like too sometimes the media, social media, can stir stuff a little bit too far.
Okay.
Keep the drama stirred up. Not everybody knows exactly what's going on, and they see something or misread it, and then everything blows up out of proportion. But that's the world we live in.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard to know just what's true and what's not out of what you read. I see I'm mostly on the like federal and state level. I don't see a lot of local politics on Facebook, but I don't know if that's just the way my algorithm works. But I know, especially at the state and federal level, you'll see somebody, sharing something about something that's happened, and then you'll see somebody else share the opposing view, and it's like neither one of them are, if you're unbiased in how you're approaching it, neither one of them are actually accurate in how they're being presented, but people just want to, I guess, reinforce their own views and stuff like that. And I think social media is actually really bad about that because it makes it easier to live in a what's it called when there's a term for it, an echo chamber.
Yeah.
I think social media can be an echo chamber.
And it reflects a negative. No one looks at a positive thing that happens. They all want to look at a negative.
Sure.
And negative, negative, negative. It's all you hear is negative. There is positive things that.
Mhm.
That's why you don't know somebody. You sit down and talk to them, or know just because somebody said something about somebody. That don't mean that. And I'm a type of person. I try not to, judge somebody. If somebody says you better what, I'll take a chance. And if somebody does something to me, if I try them and they do something to me, then I know, but I'm
Mhm.
not going to go off what somebody else said unless I really, investigate, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just, you can't do that with people. And that's like, in the county judge's department, you can't go off what somebody else said. You and your fiscal court.
Mhm.
It needs to be open. Everybody as a team.
Yeah.
Don't hide nothing. Don't hold nothing back. And I'm the type of person, I will promise you, if I tell you something, that's what it'll be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna back up on my word. If it takes the hide off my rear end, I'm gonna stick. You know what I mean? If I say it's what we're gonna do, it's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So do you anticipate friction with the fiscal court?
No, because I'm the type, I like to listen and learn,
Mm-hmm.
and I want them. If there is friction, we're gonna have a vote on it. And it is, everybody, I don't want no physical. I don't want no friction. I can't. I don't like drama, friction.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's bad to say, and me trying to get into politics.
No.
but
You're not trying to get into politics. It's political by nature.
Yeah.
You're trying to get in and do a specific job. It sounds like.
And I want to do a right job.
Yeah.
And I will do a right job if elected. And I, it's just. There's a lot of good people in this county, and I've tried to see lots of people. And if I haven't seen you, I'm gonna try to get around as many as I can. And but I think we got a good positive change, or good time to have good positive change.
Yeah. Can we spend some time talking about farming?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So how long have you been farming?
Since I was this all my life, since I was a kid, I, I bought my first bottle calf when I was 7 year old,
Yeah.
so it, I just have always enjoyed it. Working with livestock and animals is I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And, my kids enjoy I just want to bring them up in a farming. There's nothing like bringing them up, to be involved and to learn and to,
Mhm.
you know, and, it's just farming's a great atmosphere and everything else, anything in the anything is, but it's what somebody loves and enjoys.
Yeah. So, is the farm you're at, is this one that you, like, established yourself? Was it kind of a family farm or
I bought the farm from my, grand when I turned 18, my grandfather sold me his cows, and I leased the farm from him, and, uh, and then eventually I bought the farm but I've growed and bought more farmland myself
Yeah.
and added to it and just tried to just grow it. Farming's a hard thing to do right now.
Sure.
And like I said, I clerk a cattle sales because it helps. It's extra income. You know what I mean?
Well, I say sure, I just always hear that farming's difficult, but
It's
that I assume it's what, the economy or, like,
economy. You don't
what
never know
really
what'll
affects it?
bring. Just like right now, we've been with no rain hardly here in the spring of the year.
Mhm.
We could have if it don't rain here in the next little bit, we could be in a very serious drought as far as planting hay crops. People spent fertilizer is really high. They spent a lot of money and could not come back in. It could be, and the farming industry is getting smaller and smaller all across the United States. More houses, more, development, more. We're losing farmland every day.
Mhm.
And the cattle herd, the United States cattle herd's the lowest it's been in I think 70 years.
Is that because of loss of space?
A lot of that, and then the cattle, the younger generations are not coming on. They can't afford to.
Mhm.
Um, the way things cost, it's just there's not enough profit margin.
Yeah.
You could, the time you buy your equipment, your cattle, you could have the farm give to you, and if you had to operate starting out, buy the equipment, buy the cattle, and try to operate it, it would be a struggle.
Yeah. So it's like the initial startup costs, just you would be paying that off for too significant of a time. It's just not worth
Yes,
it.
yes, and it's interest is higher. Of course, most farmer, interest is just the main. Now fuel's high. It's a hard struggle, but you can do it. Don't get me wrong. You can do anything if you
Mhm.
put your mind to it.
Yeah.
It's just it's something that I've got into in the cattle industry. Um, it's a good thing to be into, but I've made I've got a good education at it. I put it
Yeah.
in a roundabout way. You get the
Yeah.
aspects of all part of life, as far as dealing with finances, dealing with people, the agriculture industry. It's a good roundabout overall way.
I want to continue to talk about farming a little bit, just because I grew up in Monroe County, but I never, like, I didn't farm growing up, but a lot of my friends did.
Mhm.
And so, what all goes into, like, if you're willing to talk about it, what goes into, like, a beef cattle operation? Like, what all do you got to do?
Well, I mean, there's different aspects of the beef cattle operation. Some people just got a farm, beef cows turned out there, and
Mhm.
some people don't even vaccinate, don't do nothing, just gets them up and sells them right off the cow. Some people, vaccinate, wean their calves, background them for a while, market them. Um, it's just a different, and it's getting more now. It's getting harder and harder and harder with just a farm with 15, 20 cows. If you got 15 or 20 cows, it really defeats. I guess you're not going to make hardly anything.
There's not
There's
enough.
not enough profit margin there for
Yeah.
what you have the time and what you have to put into it. And it's kind of getting like the milking business and the row crop business. If you're not milking 500 to 900 cows, that's why a lot of the dairy farmers just went out.
Mhm.
If you're, and it's just some things don't adjust, don't go with the times. You take corn worth, I think yesterday when the market's 430 or 40, rounded. I'm just using the estimated. I didn't look exactly, but you take $550 an acre to put out corn, and it only worth just say $4 and $4.50 a bushel. You're going to have to make 150 to 60 bushel just on break even.
Gotcha.
So I guess in my way of thinking is, why sit and beat your head against the wall for nothing?
Yeah. So you need the land, you need the equipment,
You need all that, and that's where the bigger establishments are good with it, because they turn volume, they turn numbers, cash flow, and the small guy just gets weeded out, and that's like the younger generation. There's not enough money to be made. They can go over here and work at a public, a construction company or whatever, and make $30, $40, $50 an hour, and be dollars ahead. But it's just hard to overcome it. But the cow thing right now, everybody says, oh, cows are making good money. Yes, they are good money, but the way the fuel and the fertilizer and everything, making the same amount of money as you was making when you're selling a $1,000 steer versus $2,500 steer, if you really put the pencil to it.
Yeah. So what is driving the overall cost of operations? What's driving it up?
The economy, fuel, the grain, just I guess with all the tariffs, different things. It's different, and everybody blows things up a little different. But it's just everything together. It's just hard to make things flow. You know what I mean? It's just the way the cost of everything, the cost of living and everything has just went up, and and I hope it don't get plumb out of proportion.
Yeah. What like, does it fluctuate? Like, have we been in situations like this before and then it improved, or does
A little bit?
like
Yeah.
do
I mean,
you
it's ups and downs. And here's the thing. Here a while back, when they started hollering beef was too high, I'm sure you heard beef was too high. A pound of hamburger meat is $6-7 a pound to feed a family of 4. People that goes back to the media situation. They was fussing about it being too high, but I guarantee you they stopped at Starbucks or somewhere and bought an $8 cup of coffee.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just the momentum of things. I mean, it's not, it's you just got to sit back and and manage, and
so better budgeting and things like that, or just spending money more wisely.
yes,
Things like that.
I mean, it's not and it goes back to nobody wants somebody to make more money. The grain farmers are getting $4 for corn, and the cowman's getting $4 for pound for for beef, and there's always something to somebody to fuss about. But there's money to be made, but it's really it's tough.
So do you do beef and crops, or just beef?
I do mainly beef. I do a few crops. Just we chop silage and raise about 350, 400 acres of grain. Just to that's not no large scale at all. It sounds like a lot, but it's nothing.
I don't. I'm in left field, so
it's just a small. For that goes small, but that goes back to. It's like me in a situation. The corn ain't going to make no money, but here I got a combine and stuff. If it don't have the equipment to do it, it's hard to custom hire somebody because you need it done when you need it done.
Yeah.
So you can't. It's hard. It's just hard to own the equipment and do it, and it's just a matter of if you want to fight it out or not.
Yeah. Does the like? I'm just going to use the term. I'm just going to use the phrase cost of production. Okay. And the way I'm going to define that is the amount of money that you're obligated to put in to keep the business going. Does that make sense? Does that my definition of cost of production, does that make sense?
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
So my question is the cost of production and for crops, and then the cost of production for like beef cattle. Okay. Do they follow each other, or does one sometimes cost more than
It's
the
going to
other?
cost you a whole lot more to grain farm.
Okay.
But it's going to take you more land for the cattle, for like a beef cow. But if you're running a feedlot, it's not. But because you can keep them contained instead of just open ground. But the you got more fertilize, more equipment costs, more
Mm-hmm.
markets. So the grain farming is a whole lot more extensive than the beef cow market. And these grain farmers, I admire them for holding on and doing
Mm-hmm.
everything that they can do to keep driving forward.
Yeah.
They could, and then it's the tough, and then the weather, main thing. You take right now, a lot of them's planting corn, and they need some rain, sprout, and come up.
Yeah.
So
Going back to the county judge executive office, like if we don't have industry, are there other ways of getting money, like acquiring finances,
I mean, there's grants and stuff in
grants?
Frankfurt. I mean, and that's why I look at it. If there's a grant to put a railroad track in Monroe County, Kentucky, and Frankfurt, they're willing to give it to us. Go
Mm-hmm.
get it, because they're gonna give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We'll eventually use it. It'll eventually something will become of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will create a job. It'll create something. I'm just using that for an example. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because that's off the wall. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Uh, but just go get it. Go out there. Go after it.
Who does that? Is that
Well,
you, or
there's
is?
grants. There's people that writes grants. You can hire.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Brittany does a lot of the writing grants and trying to get everything approved now. And
Mm-hmm.
there's just so many. You just got to push. You got to keep after it. You be on top of everything and read and try to know what's available and dig your way around.
Yeah. How many people is it? Like 11,000 in Monroe
I
County,
think that's correct. Yes.
somewhere around in there.
Yep.
So what's kind of like if you get in? What's kind of your day one? What do you start out with?
Just a learning process, seeing how everything's being run right, kind of in a way in the office and everything right now. Not just and be willing to work with everybody that's there now, and just try to learn and progress. I'm not gonna go in battling, firing this, doing that, because that ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people there that's it's works for the county now that knows what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody like me coming in would be about half blindsided. So why would I want to?
Yeah.
You need those people to try to let's see what's going on here, and then see if there's room for improvement or what we need to do here or what just work through it. I just feel like Monroe County's in a little bit of a slump, and
Mm-hmm.
you ain't going to change nothing in just a year or two. It's going to take, like I said, 2 to 3 years to try to get things lined out and rolling good.
Sure.
And and like I said, I've not been affiliated with the fiscal court. Two of my opponents are magistrates now, and they're probably a little more knowledgeable on some of the stuff, but I feel like everybody should just take it. It's a learning process for everybody.
Yeah. So do you have, like, I mean, I don't know if the term is a cabinet, like, like who's, because the sheriff obviously has like deputies and stuff like that. Do you have specific like employees that work under you, or how's the office of the county judge executive?
Yeah,
broken
he's got
down?
you got the fiscal court, but then you got secretaries, treasurers,
Yeah.
everything, and you have you know how you have a road department crew. You have you're kind of the overseer, but then that's where you have your magistrates too. They have each district. There's 5 districts, Monroe County, and they kind of oversee their district, come to you and say, hey, this is what's going on here,
Mm-hmm.
here, and here. Like I said, it takes a team.
I didn't realize. Sorry, I don't mean to
No,
interrupt
that's
you.
fine.
But that we had like even 5 districts. So, and then our magistrates like in charge
Yes.
of those, kind of like
like
the.
District 1, District
Mhm.
2, District 3, District 4, District 5.
Okay. Are there any that are are there any that are, I want to ask if there's any that are doing better than the others, but you know,
That's a touchy situation. And a lot of people, back to where some people come, if stick falls in the road, they want to call the road department. Say, hey, I got a stick in the road, or a limb fell out in the road.
yeah.
Just it's hard to get out. You know what I mean? It's hard to please everybody.
Mhm.
You're not going to be able to. It's just proven the way it is.
Yeah.
And you're going to make somebody mad, somebody or not. But if elected, we'll do the best that we can do to keep everything rolling.
Yeah.
And put priorities first. Go out. Look at things if on the roadside. If we're getting ready to blacktop a road through, try to go back and look at different infrastructure. If it needs tiles, needs ditch, put them in before we blacktop instead of having to go back and cut the blacktop up 6 months later.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the county money.
Fair
You know what I mean? And it's government. It's funds set aside from Frankfurt, but it's still taxpayer dollars.
Yeah. So I want to. Is there anything about the office in and of itself that we haven't explored that you feel like you would like to explore or like to
I just,
put information out on?
just what goes on, have it open. This is one thing that I feel like that open communication, know what happens. Everybody be aware. If we have a physical court meeting, put the minutes in, on social media. So if somebody wants to read, there it is. Don't hold nothing back. Just, and like I said, you're going to make people mad and you're going to make some people happy.
Mhm.
It's just the way it is. And it's hard right now. You want everybody to vote for you. But there was a man come up to me the other day and he said, Cody, I want to let you know I voted for you the last time, but I can't vote for you this time.
Mhm.
And he said, one of your opponents was good family. And I didn't get mad.
Mhm.
I said, sir, I shook his hand. I said, I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Because most people wouldn't have had the guts to come out and told you. That means a lot to me. He was respectful. He told me the truth and go on. You know what I mean? And that's the way I try to be. If I say something you don't like it, just ask me about it, or I just don't want to. I guess I'm just I'm that way. I don't mean to keep rattling or harping on myself there, but it just is what it is. It's just point blank. If it needs to be done, do it. If it don't.
I think it's better to put yourself out there than tear your opponents down, and
Well, yeah,
I
I
don't see
mean,
that. I don't see that happen. I've not encountered that so far.
no, I mean, everybody running against me is a good opponent. I mean, nothing. I can't say nothing bad about none of them, and I won't say nothing bad about none of them because there may be a time if I get elected, and there's something I need to know or need to learn. I may need one of them.
Oh yeah,
you gotta be careful. You don't want to burn a bridge. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I've learned that in life. What most time goes around comes around.
Yeah.
You got to follow. Have good turn toward people and just try to.
Yeah.
And this.
I think that I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I want to do because I know one of my individual goals is to open my own, therapy practice one day and stuff like that. But I don't know what I would want to do after that. And I've thought about like if I ever ran for office, but like I feel like I'm too opinionated because used to I would care about upsetting somebody, but now I'm at a place where I don't care to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I just with it being a small town and it being I feel like it's such a small town that if you like you have to be nice.
You said there's too many political jobs in this town. Is the way I want to word it.
Yes.
You want to make somebody they're afraid to do something or say something because they're afraid they'll lose their job or afraid. It is what it is. Somebody's going to get mad, but at the end of the day, if you're doing your job there and you make them mad, they're really not going to get rid of you because they got to have you.
Yeah.
It's just the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I would, it's a hard, you put your person in a spot, but sometimes you just got to say, hey, it's just how it is.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm so opinionated now that like, I just, I wouldn't even say there's political factions, but there's just not a yeah, it's just so small. I feel like I would be better in a larger like I if if you tick off one group of people in a small town, that might be too many people
That's true.
just from one group of people,
That's true.
you know?
That's
So,
true. And then
anyway,
everybody sticks together in small towns.
yeah.
But it's just
That's what I'm trying to say is everybody sticks together, so if you upset one, you upset
you're
a
going to
lot.
upset a whole lot of people,
Yeah.
and you can't. Um, and it's not a fact of upsetting somebody that if you know you're doing right or your opinion, you know everybody thinks their opinion's right.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks their
opinion's right.
opinion's right, but that's what I get back to. There's no sense of being wrong about something.
Mhm.
If I get elected and I do get in there and I make the wrong decision, hey, I'm not going to sit around and try to say, well, I done, I was right. I was right. I'm going to say, hey, we've goofed up here. Let's fix this.
Mhm.
Come together. Somebody help us here. I ain't afraid to ask for help. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This is the way I am,
Yeah.
You, it's, there's people there to help you,
Well, you gotta own your mistakes.
yeah, that's
And
first
you
thing.
gotta go in any office. You can't have the mindset that you're gonna get everything right. You gotta
No.
go in there with the mindset that you're gonna get things wrong, and that's just normal. But it's about what you do with it when you do get things wrong, and owning up to it is what you do,
Yep. I mean,
you just get on there and
you messed up, you messed up.
yeah.
And it's, and there's just good things. And, try not to, you don't want to upset somebody, but if, we brought another business in and there was something else here, talk to them about it. Say, hey, this is coming. Let's just work through it.
Mhm.
So, but, there's just a lot of good things that I just hate to see Monroe County keep going down, 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 down.
Mhm.
And, right here in town, in the city, and everybody just work together.
Yeah.
It's, just, I don't know.
So what do you like to do for fun? Like what's your recreation? What's your downtime look like when you got time to yourself?
Well, when I got time to myself, I love just, spending time with my kids.
Mhm.
And we go, we do go to the lake.
Which Del
Del
Hollow?
Hollow, yeah, and enjoy time with them,
Mhm.
and spend time, with my wife and kids. My wife says that I'm a workaholic.
Really?
She's, I just while ago I went in and got a sandwich cleaned up before I come here, and I was talking to my little girl, and she said, "Well, tell him hello, stranger." I just
Yeah.
because I've been been going a lot this week, but at home, but I'm not in. Come in at bedtime. It's spring of the year. It's kind of a busy time,
Yeah.
and had lots of cattle moving this week. So but I feel like I'll work one of these days when I get older. When my kids get big enough to do stuff, and I
Mhm.
can slow down a little. And if elected, I'll probably slow down on the cattle shipping side of things and trading and
Mhm.
focus more time on the county and be able to spend more time with my family
Yeah. Do you have any are you well one where do you dock at
at Horse Creek.
Has Horse Creek?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We always docked at Cedar Hill, but it's because we didn't have like a houseboat.
Yeah,
We always
yeah.
kept a pontoon, but I'm pretty sure mom and dad.
It's just right around the bend there.
Yeah, it's just right around. Yeah.
Del Hollow Lake is, that's Salina and Burkesville got something going for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a beautiful, and a lot of people in Monroe County go to the lake.
Oh yeah.
I'd say 90% or 80% of the docks down there is Monroe and Barron, northern county people.
Yeah.
Um, but that's what I say. It's a beautiful place.
It is very nice. I haven't been in I haven't been in several years. I've just because I hadn't like I said, I just moved back not too long ago, but I'd like to go back, but like I said, mom and dad got rid of their they asked me like, "Do you care if we get rid of it?" I'm like, "Who am I to tell them they can't get rid of their boat?" But
Yeah,
now,
they knowed you probably enjoyed it, and
yeah,
they was wanting to know.
yeah, I'll just have to find somebody to bum off of whenever I go down
When
there.
you go, it's just kind of like a different world.
Mhm.
You forget about it. I do. I just
Mhm.
kind of forget about all all the things
Mhm.
that's involved.
That's where
And
Papa Carter used to go on election day, was to go sit on a houseboat,
yep,
and I think
yep,
he would just listen to the radio
yep.
whenever he.
Get away from everything, and then, I think, very fortunate that I'm able to do that.
Mhm,
And everybody's got different hobbies. Mine's I could, I love to sort cattle. I don't know why, but I could,
mhm.
I enjoy it, and that's my main thing is fooling with
Do you ever get
livestock.
burned out of it?
Sometimes I do. I get tired. I just get tired and exhausted, or trying to please somebody, and it just you can't please everybody. I sort the cows on Mondays. We have a livestock auction there in Glasgow, and I do all the cow sorting.
Mhm,
And my phone will ring off. Could you get my cows up front? Could you get my cows up toward the front of the sale, front of the sale? And I finally I just like, look, I'm doing the best I can do, but we're selling them the way they come in. That's a fair
mhm.
way to do it.
Yeah,
And I try to take care of people. They bring something, recommend it. Try to help them get all the dollars they can get because I
mhm.
know the farmer needs it.
Is learning how to say no, is that, or not people please, is that a skill that you've had to, like, learn over time? Were you always that way, or.
I have had to learn it over. My wife says I will tell everybody else yes and her no.
Mm,
She
yeah,
says, "Am I the only person in the world you'll tell no to?" Because she's caught myself many a times getting myself overbooked or telling somebody I'd be two different, scrounging and running and rushing, and I've had to learn to just no. We'll get there when we get there, or I'll get them. Do the best we can do. It's
yeah,
been a hard thing to say no to people, but
yeah,
I like to help people, and I'll help somebody else before I help myself.
yeah. And I think growing up in a small town, it makes it easy to grow up into being a people pleaser, because everybody's just, we're taught to be super nice to everybody and never say no, but that's something I've had to learn as I've gotten older too. And how I've learned that I have opinions that would that people wouldn't be a fan of if I ever decided to run for anything, was because I learned to start, saying no and thinking for myself a little bit. But growing up in a small town, it's definitely easy to get into that, uh, not wanting to upset anybody and wanting to always make it right if you do, and I think at times you should, but I don't think you can effectively live that way without becoming burned out
Yeah,
in and of itself.
and then being able to get something done. Small town. Well, slide
Mhm.
in here, do this. Real quick without having take the steps, and it spoils people.
Yes.
I mean,
Knowing who to
who to
call.
call or can I get this done real quick, and that's what I mean, and that's just part of it.
Yeah.
But it's just it's just try to I just be friendly. I've feel like I've come a long way.
Yeah.
It people's got different opinions on everybody. So, but you don't really know till you sit down and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just try to shoot it straight like it is and go on.
Fair enough.
That's all you can do. I
Yeah.
mean, and a lot of and back to there's differences in things.
Mhm.
Just like you can hear people, somebody say, "Well, yeah, my kids brought $5 a pound," and then somebody else over here takes a calf and it bring $4 a pound.
Mhm.
Why didn't mine bring as much? Well, there's probably there's a difference, and a lot of people don't understand some differences. And I'm using the cattle thing as an example, but
Yeah.
there's differences of how to do stuff or what's better or what's not. And like I said a while ago, everybody always thinks they're right,
Yeah. Yeah.
so or theirs is the best.
Sure.
So, but it's you always want to try to do your best.
Absolutely.
So,
And only you know whether or not that you're doing your best.
yep.
You could be doing your best, but it appear to
Eh,
other people you're not.
eh,
It appear to other people you're not even trying.
yep. And if I'm elected and we have fiscal court, and all 5 magistrates want to do something, and I think it's totally wrong, I'm going to probably go with them because
Mhm.
they've outnumbered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, hey, let's try it y'all's way, because I feel like if I felt was willing to do something, they would come.
Mhm.
But that's the way I'd be. I wouldn't be bullheaded and say I want it my way, my way. I'd go with them. It
Mhm.
works, because most time You got to go with if the majority's going that way, you need to kind of listen and follow and see how it works out.
Be a team player.
Yep. Respect. If you don't have respect, if people don't respect you, you're not going to get nowhere with them. Let's go with it. That goes with, I learned that playing ball in school. If you don't respect your coach, your teachers, your elders, you're not going to, they're not going to be able to do nothing with you.
Yeah.
You have to earn the respect.
Yeah. You have to earn respect, and you have to be able to listen.
Yep. And I feel like that's what we need in the county judge's office is respect, not to be a joke.
Sure. Fair enough.
Just point blank.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, man. Anything else that you want to put out there?
No, this day, May 19th. I appreciate everybody in the county giving support through the election. Like I said, I run 4 years ago, come up 77 votes short.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we can gain, but like I said, I got more people running this. There's 5 this time instead of 4. And I get good opponents. I wish everybody in every county race the best of luck. It's stressful. It's and you put stress on your family. Yeah. And I want to thank my family and thank everybody, and I hope everybody will. Main thing is just go exercise your right to vote May 19th.
All right,
just make sure you exercise your right to vote.
Before I get you out of here, I want to give you this shirt.
All right. I do.
Just by default give everybody an XL, but if you need a different size, let me know.
I think it'll work perfect.
I need to get sponsors so that I can get more, because I'm running out of shirts, but I want to continue doing that. So, but I appreciate you coming out, taking the time, and it means a whole lot. And I hope that that you feel like it's been beneficial for you.
Oh yeah.
And getting your message out and
like I said, I appreciate what you're doing here. You're taking a step forward for the people in the county.
Yeah.
Podcasts. It's the new it's the thing.
Yeah.
Go on with it. You're trying to do something to supportive here of the community.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, man. I'll have to get you back on here one day. Maybe learn a little bit more about farming from you.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Whatever we need to do.
Let's get you out of here back on the campaign trail.
All right, thank you.